All right, everyone. Welcome. The mornings with movers. Phil, Country Phil always having some technical difficulties. He'll be here though. Um, I hope everybody's having an amazing week. Again, I'm Dwyght with Mack's Moving Training, and we got Clifford Starks, the motivational coach. What up? What's going
What's
on, Cliff?
up? I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying the process. Curtis may have stumbled into something really, really nice.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. So he's going a specific direction. I got to keep it in the box right now. It's secretive at the
Gotcha.
moment, but we're gonna open it up when we get a chance.
Gotcha.
What up, Phil?
You know that man still getting set up. That's crazy. Um,
Uh,
oh,
what
didn't he
up?
hurt us?
What's up, brother?
You and y'all with all y'all links and stuff, man.
It's just a world of links.
Man, I'm like, man, where in the world are you sending these links at? Messenger. They send it in the mail.
But
you guys be sending. I know you guys in New York be sending messages through pigeons and stuff, and I'm like looking outside, see if a pigeon with a freaking link on it. Damn.
Oh yeah, you know those New York City pigeons is real.
Man.
But no, so what's been going on? How's business been?
Good. Yeah. I mean, it's I guess everybody's starting to feel a little bit of the housing market. I think some don't want to really admit it, but our economy is kind of going through some things right now, and moving is definitely taking a little bit of a shake from it, and which is forcing some to have to lower rates, and I mean just kind of cut back in certain areas. So some of the people that's truthful about it, they hey man, it's not remotely as busy as it was last year, and it's not, man.
No, not at all.
I mean, we've had to trim back on our rates just to turn trucks and make sure guys are staying busy, but it can't go any lower.
Oh no. And I heard where you got down to, and it's just
yeah, man. I mean, try to stay competitive and try to stay, for quality moves, but when times like this start happening, you kind of almost you got to do what you got to do, to keep, especially if you got a lot of employees, man, they got families and things to feed as well. And, 20, 30 hours a week just ain't going to cut it. It would burn my soul up knowing, someone stuck around waiting on me to, get busy and of course turn down several jobs because that profit margin wasn't as high, and you get some dedicated guys that show up on time. I mean, it's, 20 years ago, man, you had people, man, walking down the road looking for jobs, man. Now, man, you're begging people to come to work, man.
mm-hmm.
And it don't matter how much you pay. I mean, you could pay them $1,000 an hour, and that still wouldn't be enough, I guess us as humans, man, I guess we're getting a little bit smarter to say, hey, you know what? My back is worth a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
My body's worth a little bit more than that. I mean, you can't put a price on your body, but out of all the industries that I'm in, dude, I think the moving industry, man, it takes the cake a little bit, up with the with everything, between customers and employees, man. This is a totally different industry, man. Than it's a genuine industry. It takes some tough skin, man.
Definitely. Well, before you continue on this depressing road, it looked kind of hot out there today. You look like you're sweating over there.
Man, I'm greasy, man. Man, I've been planting plants this morning, man.
Oh man.
Nice.
Now I've seen the plants that you was planting in the backyard. You had a lot more?
Yeah, man. I've been going through this spell, dude. Usually I go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock, dude, and I haven't been able to sleep here lately and been staying up, man, to like 10, boy.
Oh man, he a bad
Yeah,
boy.
the other night, I mean midnight, boy. I'm like, man, it's midnight. And me and my wife out there planting flowers, and I'm out there buffing the rims on my truck at 11:30. I said, man, I bet you my neighbor's gonna think I'm on something.
But no,
Are you a green thumb, Phil?
I'm
You good at that?
I'm turning into it, man. You know, I tell
Okay.
you, man. I get out, man, in the yard, man, and you know, anything that's I got on my mind, don't think I'm worried about, man, is keeping those plants alive. You
definitely,
know,
I hear that.
and even my son, dude, I had him. Man, I can't believe a guy like you out here planting plants. I'm like, and then I said, come on, man, come help me out with this, man. Next thing I know, 2 hours had passed. He looked at me and said, Pops, man, I ain't thought about none of my problems.
Now I remember telling you guys about that story where I was talking about when I was going through that stress in earlier summer, and he basically told me his problems. And to that point where, I was driving my long ass hour and a half home, and he literally just, keep me entertained, tell me his damn problems. But I tell you, when I got to the end of that hour and a half, he was like, "Oh, so I hope you're doing better than me." Well, God damn it, I done forgot my damn problems.
Leave your monkey at the door.
But
see, old Clifford, man, he's a he's a very soft-spoken kind of guy, man, that listens, dude. So he hear a lot of problems, I'm sure. I mean, he hear my I call it my problems, because you know why? You're the kind of guy, man, that'll turn that I hate to say it, negative into a positive.
mm-hmm.
And I use this weekend as an example because I was going through some personal stuff, man, and called Clifford. And Blizzard said, "You better quit dumping all your problems off on that man," and before I know it, we was laughing, dude. He threw some positive energy in there, man, and kind of change. I mean, because us as guys, man, we don't have a way of sometimes showing emotion, man, and we don't really want to reach out to another male, don't matter father or not. If it's your father sometimes. And when you get someone you can connect with, another human, man, it's definitely something, you try to hang on to, because regardless of what it is, dude, it could drive you, should be sick. I mean, we're getting up in age too, man. Stress is the number one killer, bro. And, between family, business, life, bills, this stuff it's dangerous, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I was gonna say, Cliff. So I know that, like, obviously, I don't mind. We could talk about max movement training all day, but hey, I know that you focus on, I think on your end, besides helping Curtis with the marketing, you're also like kind of like a life coach in a sense, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah. So I'm doing coaching in life and business, because it took me some time to really get to this state. I got into entrepreneurship. I thought it was easier than it was going to be, because I heard people tell me how easy it was. You have those marketers who are really, really dangerous marketers. And I got bit, you know, and I said, holy crap, I'm in another jungle. I literally replaced one jungle for another jungle, because the fighting world, it's not an easy world, but neither is entrepreneurship, neither is ownership. And you'll get, for instance, movers who will say, well, I can do the job better than such and such, and they have good leaders, but they only see what they see. So when they actually get into a situation where I'm like, well, I'm going to start my own moving company, and they go, oh crap, that sucks, I got to think about this, I got to think about this, I got to think about this over here, let me go switch. And so entrepreneurship was the same thing for me. I didn't think it was as hard as it was until I got into it. And I got into it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is life. It's the same thing. And we're sometimes asking the wrong questions because we're looking at, oh, I got to go make my money. If I make money, I win. Well, yeah, but everybody's chasing the mighty dollar. It's not about chasing the dollar, it's about chasing the heart of the people. You don't get that right, you don't win. And if you don't have love for people and compassion and the intention to really understand your people, get out of business because it's a
Yep.
hard game. It's a hard game. If you're looking to chase money, you're not going to make any. I know that much.
So,
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
oh man, he done gave us a sermon. You got Phil saying thank you.
In the words of young Dolph, preach, preach.
So I guess what are some things that you, I guess, not in depth, but some things you go over with some of your clients?
I ask questions. Because questions hook the mind. There's three things that are needed. The right questions, because everyone has their answers. They just don't know that they're in them. And when you ask the question, it's gonna hook them and make them think about their life and their journey. Two, it's about getting in the right environment. If you're in the right environment, like anyone in the right environment wins. Like guarantee. You put a high performer and a low performer together, you'll watch the low performer start rising to the game. But you put a low performer and a mid performer together, you'll actually see the low performer sink the mid performer down. So this is a game of culture. And culture starts in here first. If you don't know what kind of culture you want, you're just free to do whatever and you're going to go to the lowest denominator. So it starts with environment and then participation. So if you're in the right environment but you're not participating in that environment, nothing's going to change. You can be around the greatest people in the world, but if you're not participating, it doesn't matter. So I look at it in the same way as if a person's not participating, there's a reason why they're not. They either
Mm-hmm.
feel like they can't, they feel like they're unworthy. This is root level stuff. There's a root to why we do what we do. I get down to the root so people can actually live the life that they want to live. And Phil makes a really good point. Guys need to talk to guys. They do. And it's tough because we're conditioned to be tough all the time. Got to be strong, got to be unstoppable. I can't be beat. The second I let something go or say something and I'm transparent with it, I take its power away though. And so all my life, I've been looking to just live a life worth living. And what was so interesting, every dream you conquer, you just go after a bigger dream. And that's where, like, my journey, I'm just looking to help people live their dreams out. Because we have this lack mentality. We all do to an extent. Where it's like, I can't help anyone because I got to help me first. No, watch what happens when you start helping others. You are helping yourself when you're helping others. You might
Mm-hmm.
not know it, but you are.
Definitely, definitely. So similar to Phil, what do you feel people can be doing? Like I'm a perfectionist, but
Mhm.
I understand that things can't be perfect. We're in a business where we are controlling humans that do what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
And we got this perfect image in our head that hey, this company should be this way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I guess the goal is we keep working towards that goal constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's being a perfectionist. It definitely kills us because hey, why didn't you wrap it that way? Oh, you could have definitely filled that space in a truck. What are you doing? I trained you guys to how to do this, and and it just it just don't come out that way. So, what do you
Yeah.
feel like us entrepreneurs can be doing to guess lessen that stress of perfectionism?
So, there's a process I take people through. It starts, and it's weird just coming online with this because I don't know if people necessarily get it right out the gate. Self acceptance. And so, self acceptance means, Dwight, would you consider yourself a high performer?
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. So, have you made mistakes?
of course.
Okay. And so high performers make mistakes. And therefore, how did you become the high performer that you were?
Trial and error.
That's it. That's it. Look at a person and say, hey, what do they need? Where do they need to be? And I look and say, all right, when I'm creating something, it's about getting the right people in and about putting them in the right seats. And it's not my place to belittle another human being, to make them feel small. If they don't belong, explain that they don't belong and why they don't belong, and try and get them to go somewhere they do belong. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just basic human courtesy and saying everyone's a high performer in something, and being really, really intentional with yourself and saying, I've made mistakes, and I don't sit back and go like, well, I made fewer mistakes than you. Like, well, look at how much there is in the world. Like, I have my family background, my dynamics, the people who supported me. I got a lot of support on my journey, and I had some backstabbers on my journey. But I
Mm-hmm.
realized I had a choice. And so the power of choice, some people don't even know they have a choice. And they're effing up bad, really bad. And so I talk to people and I say, well, why are you doing what you're doing? They usually have a reason. And sometimes they might not know the reason right out the gate. But when I look at the high performer and everybody and say, are they built for doing what we're doing over here? Are they built for creating what we're creating over here? If they are, great. How do I make that work? How do I turn that into what it needs to turn into? Because I'm actually a perfectionist too. And the one thing that I've realized, I just realized, and I realized this at a young age, if I put enough reps into something, I'll learn the lesson. If I put enough repetitions into it, I'll learn the lesson. Now, in entrepreneurship, I had to learn that I can't do it all by myself. I'm used to just doing it by myself. I'm used to living life by myself. Like, I'll be the best, I'll be the strongest, I'll figure it out. And I burnt out. I burnt out when I became a dad and I still had my wife and I still had all these juggling plates. And I'm like, I'll figure it out for everyone. Yeah, that left me 10 days, like not in a hospital bed, thank goodness. I got an IV, but I was bedridden for 10 days. For 10 days. And the lesson that I needed to learn was I need a team to do this. And I need to
Mm-hmm.
condition my team.
Hey,
Because if you think,
for all you
yeah.
watching Dragon Ball Z, Goku, he was a deadbeat. He was never really home. Yeah, that man always out there training. But
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it comes down to is like saying, are you can't do it by yourself, and are you conditioning the team? And is the team conditioning you? Because I think the best leader, I'm part of a mastermind, and I told this mastermind, it's not my mastermind, it's our mastermind. Because could you imagine if you come in as a leader like, I'm the leader, I'm the boss, I'm the best, you got to listen to me. You got to listen to me, baby. People be like, who the hell? Who the hell
Right.
is this guy? Who in the. But if I go, hey, we do this together, as much as Phil does for me, or I do for Phil, Phil does for me. As much as I do for you, you do for me. We're on the same team. And when Phil
Yep.
gets his haircut nice, I'm like, need to start getting on that. Like, I
yeah,
gotta get up. Yeah, I gotta get up my game. Yeah, I gotta get up my
Definitely.
game.
I ain't about to take off the damn hat. Phil always
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
hit
That's why.
in the damn
That's why I
TV.
got my hat on, boy. I'm just thinking,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
We are leaders leading leaders. When I
Mm-hmm.
make people feel like a leader, when I make it's not you. Oh, the weakest link breaks us. The weakest in the link breaks us. Blah 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 blah. No, I want to change that. I want to turn that shit around and say, hey, we're all strong links. Let's be strong. And if you're feeling weak, let me know why, brother or sister, so we can figure it out, so we can make you feel strong. Leaders are leading leaders. So the movers, they're leaders. The operators, they're leaders. Everyone is a leader in what they do. Because the movers can outmove me. I don't tell them like, well, I can run hills. I can do, well, it doesn't matter. We're moving boxes now. And in that aspect, You're the champ. I'll make you feel like a champ.
So we ain't gonna act like, you know, Phil didn't post a video of him racing a few weeks ago.
From what?
I said we ain't gonna act like we didn't see that video of Phil trying to race a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah. You're trying to get out there with the guys, boy, you know.
Phil's gonna be a 4.2 track runner out there.
Man, thing over here, one of my guys just graduated college, man, and I mean he just got done playing football, dude. So he's in shape, boy. That joker blew me, boy. Man. You should have called me. You should have got 20 years ago. I used to be fast, bro. I used to be fast, you know, running from the police, boy, make it fast, boy. The joker, ain't nobody ran as fast as somebody running from the police, boy.
Yeah, you ain't. I don't mean to bring this up, but you know, as one of the things that is the truth. Because
man,
you know, I've never been in trouble with the law, but it was one of those things where I was an athlete back in middle school and high school. You know, used to run a lot, do all this other stuff. I used to think I was one of the fastest kids in my neighborhood. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. Until my friends started getting their reps and running from the cops.
Oh yeah. Just act like you running from the police. Like
I was like, God damn, how you get so fast? Like, and you smoke? Oh yeah, your lungs are gone. I'm next thing you know, on the football field, they running a 4.2. I'm like, God.
Exactly. Smoking a cigarette while he running.
Program right there.
Smoking a cigarette while he running. Smoke blowing right behind you.
I'm like, do he got baggy jeans on too?
Man. Well, I one time, man, I tell you, boy, you get some strength you never had. So when I went back to my grandparents' house a few months ago, right? I seen this house and I thought about one time I was running from the police, right, through the neighborhood, and I'm looking at the house. I'm like, how the hell did I get on that house? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like Spider-Man up the house, dude. And before the police, I remember sitting on top of the roof looking at the police, and he couldn't figure out where the hell I was at. And then, hold on. He didn't know I was on top of the roof, and guess what I heard him say? Where did that look go? I said, if I get off this roof, this motherfucker catch me, he gonna beat the hell out of me. I said, I have to be quiet as hell, boy. Strength, boy.
But
we're talking about potential, baby. We all have it. We just need to get it pulled out of us.
Yeah. And it's that driver, to hit off of that, it's that driver of sometimes fear that we want to, you know, use in our business, because the fear of our business going downhill or shutting down, like there's a lot of businesses that just won't make it, you know, and we just got to keep that clarity in our mind that this business don't have to be as difficult as it seems on surface. We got to stick to the basics. You know, the basics of our business is, you know, hey, our HR department. What are we doing in our HR department to make sure that, one, our employees are happy, our onboarding process is simple. If we need more movers or drivers on the fly, how are we reaching out to them? What's our channels for reaching out to them? You know, what can we do to keep the employees around, keep them happy that we have? Maybe it may not have to be financially beneficial, but maybe it could be a certain way where your culture, as Cliff mentioned earlier, your culture of how you run your company is going to keep those guys around when things get a little tough, so that you don't have to focus on, oh man, I got to find 5 new people, 6 new people. You know, find ways to keep your employee retention down. Now, then you have operations. What is your operations? What is your day-to-day focus? Every day you come into the office, what are you focused on? You know, are you focused on meaningless tasks? Do you have your dispatcher or your ops manager doing stuff that ain't pushing the needle forward? Oh, hey, I need you to check those emails. Or, hey, I need you to go run out and get the mail. Or, hey, I need you to fold up those pads. Granted, yes, some of that stuff may be needed, but is not pushing the needle forward. So what are you doing in your operations every day? What does your time management look like every day to push the needle forward in operations? Okay, well, hey, maybe customer satisfaction. Okay, how can we get more reviews? How can we, make sure that our guys are doing what we need them to do out there so that we create raving fans? The process of clocking crews out and clocking crews in. Are we making as much money as we could possibly make it? Where are we dropping the ball? So these are all maybe operational task things that you could be focused on to push the needle in operations. Then you have marketing. Marketing is your driving force. I spoke with a client of mine yesterday who said, hey, the jobs are slowing down. Jobs are slowing down. Hey, where's your marketing? Non-existent. Well, hey, that's an area of focus. So if you don't have the marketing coming in, then you don't have, most likely you don't have the sales going out. So you have to have that. You have to have the two entwined. It's kind of like having a balanced wheel. If you don't have marketing, you don't have sales. If you don't have sales, you don't have operations. You don't have operations, you damn sure don't have HR. So everything has to be rolling in circle to make sure that your business is flowing. So right now, most people dial down their marketing in the summer because, it's kind of like more organic searches because it's the summer. But this year has been a different year. So marketing, you got to look at your P&L statement and say, hey, where's my marketing spend at? Oh, my marketing spend is at 3%, 4% for those that may not have a strong marketing or have very little marketing. So now you're like, well, 4%, oh man, I got room to spend more because the goal is if I spend more, ultimately I'll make more in a return. So, definitely look to increase your marketing. If your marketing is too expensive or you're 12% of your revenue, see who's not doing good. If you're not managing your marketing, oh, well, I got Angie's list or I got Angie's leads or whatever the case is. And those guys are, charge me an arm and a leg, but I ain't getting no leads, or I am getting leads.
You compete with everybody else.
I'm getting leads, but I got 150 leads in the last 3 months. And oh snap, I only closed 2 jobs. Well, how much was those 2 jobs? Well, shit, I only made $800 off those 2 jobs. Well, clearly this lead source isn't a good lead source. So you have to be able to assess that. If you stay with a lead provider for too long, 6 months, 7 months, and just realizing that they're doing damage more than helping, it goes back to you as an owner. Everything falls back on the owner for allowing something to go on for so long without making change. Yeah. And as Cliff mentioned, yes, you do need a team around you. So don't be a lone wolf. If you're that lone wolf, oh, I got to wear marketing hat, I got to wear sales manager hat, I got to wear this, I got to wear that. Oh, I'm in the field as a lead today. Your business is only going to grow as far as you grow mentally.
Yep.
So, just focus on the basics, everyone. Go back to your 5 pillars, marketing, sales, operations, HR, and compliance. Compliance is everything. Obviously compliance is your insurance, to make sure your business is running, your driver records, driver files, because in some states, hey, DOT is more heavily focused on you than in other states where DOT don't give a damn as long as you pay them. So just focus on making sure, hey, your drivers are good. They're not raising your insurance premiums because maybe they're having accidents in their personal lives or getting tickets in their personal lives that it's affecting your insurance on the commercial side. Make sure they're not getting in accidents. Make sure your claims are down for sure, because all this drives back to saving you money in the long run. And the more cash flow you have, the more you're going to be able to thrive in these trying times. But spend a month on each area. 1 month work on operations. And basically when you work on operations, really look at your operations department and figure out where the holes are being dropped. Go through every single process of operations, from when your movers come in the door to when the movers go out to the customer house to when the movers come back to the warehouse. What does that process look like? How can it be better if it needs to be better? Then go into, hey, your dispatcher. What is that process when your dispatcher comes in the office? From when he comes in at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, whenever you get your first crew out, to when he leaves at the end of the day. What does his process look like? What does your customer satisfaction process look like? Whatever it is. And that's why you're spending 30 days on it, because you really want to hyper focus on every area of each department, so that basically when you leave it and you come back to it in 6 months from now, because, you know, it's 12 months in a year, you're going to come back twice because it's only like, you know, maybe like 5 years. But nevertheless, you know, you're going to basically reassess it in 6 months. Hey, I implemented all of this stuff in operation 6 months ago. How is it performing? Oh, okay, well, that worked, but that didn't work. Okay, what can we do now to make that better? And that's how you grow your business. Even in these trying times, you're going to grow your business because basically mentally you're focused on, you're hyper-focused. You're hungry. You want this. But right now, if you just look at it from a surface view, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do. This moving business is stressful. I don't know what next to do. We've been operating for 9 years, 10 years, whatever it is. And I feel like I exhausted all of my resources. I don't know what else more I can do. It's because basically you're focusing on everything as a whole versus focusing on it as an individual. So I'm going all day, y'all, but you know, I don't want to, don't feel through a mind loop, because you know, me and Phil got to have this meeting. You know, we got to talk about this financial literacy stuff. You know, see what's going on.
I'm just listening. I'm just chiming in today, you know, just kind of absorbing a lot of stuff, you know. Yeah. I personally got a lot of personal stuff going on in life, you know, but you know, just taking in a lot more than giving out, you know. I don't really have that old saying, you know, sometimes some people don't help themselves. They're, you know, too busy trying to help someone else, you know, and I've always been the guy to go to for my family. I mean, not just my wife and my kids. I'm talking about my family as well. I mean, people have called me even when I was locked up, wanting to, you know, something, you know what I mean? And, you know, advice right now, you know, I'm just taking in so much that I can, you know, to try to get through, you know, what I'm going through, you know. You know,
well, like what they say on the airport, you put your mask on first.
Yeah, when I get me a big old plate of pig feet, boy, I'm gonna be it'll put a smile on my face though. You know what I mean? Hey, Dwyght went down there to South Carolina. I said, "You eat some chitlins?" He said, "Nah." Yeah, well, I seen him on the video. I think I seen some chitlins in his bowl.
You ain't never see that.
I went down there.
I think my mom wanted to make
got you crazy.
I think my mom wanted to make some corned beef hash one morning with either rice or grits, and I was like, nope, don't put that on my plate. Some things I just don't mess with.
Hey, country boy. Yeah.
You know, like, so I'll say to all you leaders out there, all the respect in the world, because this game is so damn hard. It's so damn hard. Like I look at someone like Phil, I can tell he's a helper. I can tell. He likes to help people. He loves supporting people. But he supports those who are close to him. And he doesn't let people get too close either, which I get because he's got leeches. We all do. I'm not speaking just on him. Like I would put leeches on my skin literally and just be like, I got more than enough blood. I'm good. Right. We got this. We got this. Here. Oh, this leech is dying. Let me put it on the side right here. I still got more. And I had to go through a realization on, wait a minute, I don't need this in my life. Like I don't. There's people who, when I help them win, they want me to win. And I've been conditioned to believe I have to be the guy. I have to be the go-to guy. So all leaders are going through the same crap. And it's like, how do I be transparent when whenever I get transparent, I get shot and chopped down by the knees? So it's like, okay, I'm going to be strong and I'm just going to hold it in. But you can only extend so much when you're doing that. And it's like, it's scary to go, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to support the people that I need to support. I'm going to speak out. And the most important questions, you cannot find them on Google. It's just not going to happen. And so even me as a marketer, like my marketing mind is coming together as I'm going through this process. That is a very dangerous skill though, because you can use that skill to support and you can use that skill to hurt. Where literally our jobs are to get people eager to buy something. Eager to buy something. But if they're buying the wrong thing, we have not done justice for them. We haven't done justice for ourselves. And I see marketers do it all the time. I was buying things that I was not in a position to buy at the time, and I didn't know it. And so when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I'm like, oh, well, this thing's going to fix this. And it didn't. And this thing's going to fix this over here. And it didn't. And so I can't shrink in that moment. That's where it's like, it would make perfect sense to shrink. But you ask yourself, okay, how do I ask better questions? How do I do better research? How do I do this better? How do I take better actions? And then I started figuring out like, okay, this is starting to work. This is starting to happen. There's a saying, everyone's going to teach you something. And when I first started, it was more people are teaching me what not to do. Like, that's what it was. Like, okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that over there. And then I got to a position where, holy crap, okay, people are teaching me what to do now. They're teaching me what to do. I've broken through the plane and gotten to the other side, because you're going to get to another side where you're like, holy crap, I got someone who's really supporting me, like really here to help me, really asking the right questions. Because you can get people like a salesperson, they can sell you on something that you shouldn't be buying. And I'll tell you, full transparency, I have done that completely by accident. I didn't even know I was doing it. I once took one of my clients, and I gave her a VA, set her up, put her in position, and she crashed and burned. And I was the first to go like, I am sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. Because my mentor said, Cliff, you basically gave her a Ferrari she wasn't ready to drive. And so I'm always going to be learning too. You know, I'm always going to be going through the process. And the craziest thing, this all comes down to customer service. When I told her, I am sorry, I effed up, she actually loved me even more. I didn't even know that was going to happen. I just knew I needed to take responsibility, because I was not going to have a person bolster that. If it's on
definitely
me, it's on
personal
me.
awareness.
Yeah. If it's on me, it's on me. And I'm going to say like, look, I screwed up and I'm going to make it right. See, that's what I love about Country Phil. He's the same way. He's like, if anything happens, I'm not only going to just make it okay, I'm going to make it more than right. And that's what I did for her. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this right for you. 10 times over. And those are the people, like, that's where relationship building comes in. When you get those relationships where they're like, I would die for this person, you can't lose this game called life.
Gotcha. See, we gotta stop having Clip talk, because Clip be setting the tone too damn high. You be like, damn, what do I say after that?
I know, right? How do you even come back from that? You just be like, hey, let's change the subject.
Maybe he might not know this.
Hey, and you keep putting the camera back on me afterwards, and I'm like, hey, pig feet. Y'all want some pig feet? I don't know what to say. Yeah, I see why you keep doing it, because you like, I don't know what to say. Hey, Phil, what do you think? I don't know. What he said. Hey,
Man,
Dwyght.
no, but
Hey, you
definitely
you
have
right
some.
though, man. You right though, man. He set them standards high, boy, and what he says, boy, you can't even really go back on it though.
Mm-hmm. No, and at the end of the day, like I said, I always just revert back to business and what I know best. And it's just one of those things where, like, mentally, that's where it all comes from. Where your mental state is every day is going to be the results you get from that day. As entrepreneurs, our brains is probably running 10,000 miles a minute.
Oh yeah.
Our feet. Oh, I mean, it's a different level. But it's like, I use a to-do list and I write down everything, even worst case, and hopefully ain't no police on this call, but even in the worst case, I'm driving and the idea come in my mind and I gotta write this on my notepad, because in the next 5 minutes I'm gonna forget it. And and then basically I look to react on that. Now we can't, as owners, be reactive to everything. We can't go and buy everything that we think is going to give us an ROI. We just can't. But we can look and see, we can put it on our future things to get list, and hey, like I said, I ain't gonna say an OCD person, but everything has a place. Are you archiving your mail? Are you putting them in the specific folders? Okay, well, this is my marketing folder. This is my operations folder. This is some sales stuff. Are you archiving your life similar to, how, you want your business to be structured? Because we get emails all the time from people that want to give us financial assistance. Obviously that's just one of those big old spam things that, oh yeah, we can give you a line of credit. We can give you this. We can give you this.
Capital loan.
Right.
Capital loan.
So you get bombarded with stuff like that. You get bombarded with maybe some sales training that may not be like industry specific. You get bombarded by, all types of different things. And it's just like, are you organizing that stuff? Because it's not all bad stuff. I've used a folder where it was like, I got my insurance broker that I got now. I got an email from them saying, oh, we offer trucking insurance. And I had a broker at the time several years ago who wasn't directly in the trucking industry, but they were able to provide you trucking insurance. And I was like, well, I'm happy with these people. They're doing well by me. But then you started to realize some of the flaws because they weren't knowledgeable in your industry. They weren't able to give you that advice you needed. So I said, hey, let me look in this future to-do list folder, or these future things folder. And the future thing folder said, oh, trucking insurance. Let me give them a call. And I gave them a call, and I never looked back ever since. It was just like one of those things where it's just like, hey, you don't need to respond now. It could be a year from now. You don't need to be reactive. When the time comes, the time is going to come for you to respond to these things. Yeah. So yeah, I would say, definitely if y'all see anything like marketing, any opportunities that maybe you can't afford right now, but might be a great opportunity later on in the future, put it on your list. Save it for later. 6 months now, maybe one of those lead sources you got now are not doing that well, or maybe your revenue went up in trifolds, and you could basically now utilize that extra marketing source to try to get that up even further. Yep. So, I don't know about how you guys do your mind, like how y'all organize your mind and your thoughts, but I don't know, that works for me.
Yep.
My mind is organized C through A, and then sometimes go Z, B, K, backwards. Yeah, you see where I'm going with that?
Yep.
Start the day off planning on doing something, and you end up somewhere else, man.
And that's the thing, like I said, that's why I have to, for me, like, we all got personal stuff that kick in, but it's one of those things where it's like, what is on your to-do list today? And then what is your time management calculator tell, or your time management calendar tells you? Okay, well, 9 to 10, I got a meeting with John from down the street. 12 to 1, I got this going on, or lunch going on at 12 to 1. you know, if us entrepreneurs actually take a real lunch break. And, you know, so when you start looking at your open calendar, you're like, okay, I don't have anything going on from like 1 to like 4. What the hell should I be doing? And that's when you look at your to-do list. You're like, oh, let me get back on track. I got A, B, C, D, E things to do. Which one of these do I want to get done first? Now, obviously, you have that variety because if you go in order, oh, I'm going to do A first, B second, you're gonna get bored because you're systematizing everything. So let's say, hey, what's the most interesting thing? Is these things time sensitive? Oh no, they're not time sensitive. I just got to create emails. You know what? That sounds like it could be a little more interesting first. Let me create some emails. Okay, operation stuff. Oh, I got to order some more blankets. Okay, let me do that next. You know, mix it up, but know that, hey, it got to get done because tomorrow you're going to have another list of things to do that hopefully will be pushing the needle forward.
Yep.
But, you know, that's one of the things I go over in my training, everybody, where we actually go over time management, you know, creating block time to optimize your days. You know, I was told recently that, you know, I could be doing more, and that kind of mentally affected me because I feel like I'm doing a lot, you know, especially with operating two companies. You start to realize that, hey, you can only be in one place. And without a team on both sides, you're doomed for failure because something is going to take a hit. So, you know, when you're being told, oh, well, you could be doing more, and you're like, well, hey, the movement is kind of good right now. It's okay. It could be better. But then you're like, well, it's all the intricate details. How could your operations be better? What more could you do? Oh, you need to make sure these guys are in uniform. Oh, you need to make sure this is going on. You need to have company meetings with your managers. You need to do all this other stuff. Damn. Okay. Well, what happened to my damn team? Where they at? You know? And that stuff can drive you crazy. So it's just like, you know what? You just got to be a big believer, especially if you are a small operations, that you need to focus heavily on the needle drivers, not so much on the stuff that you want yet until you get your systems built up. Build a team, start building your sales team. A guy yesterday who's on the truck told me, hey, I'm always on the truck, but I'm the one handling sales too. That's likely reason why your sales are lacking, because you're not really, you know, we can't do it all. We want to do it all. We want to be a sales perfectionist. We want to be a movement perfectionist so we could tell our guys how to do things. We want to do all of this stuff and be a perfectionist. You can't. It's just like going to school for liberal arts. You're not meant to specialize in any one thing. So, you know, so with that being said, you're only hurting your company by not having a true sales team or having a true marketing person who could look over your marketing. So, you know, build that team up slowly. If you need to start with VAs, because it's that world now where we're paying people way too much money not to do what we want them to do.
What's a VA?
A virtual assistant.
Oh, I thought you about veteran affairs. Okay, sorry. I didn't know what the word you were talking about.
So, you know, VAs and overseas right now, they're killing it right now. And, you know, I hired a VA that's in the Philippines, and, you know, they're pushing way better results than the people that I had here. And, wow. You know, and it was like the people you had here, you could touch. You're like, oh, no sexual harassment now, but you could touch. And you're like, yo, I need you to do better. I need you to focus on this. Oh yeah, we got you. You know, $30,000 later, we ain't getting those damn results, are we? Yeah. So it's just like, you know, these VAs, they're hungry. You know, you pay them $30,000, it's like $60,000, $70,000 over there to them. And they're like, oh, damn, I'm winning. You know, and they want it. They're hungry. So sometimes you got to think, oh yeah, I want to be American. I want to bring more business to my community or whatever the case is. But you know, we in that day and age where people don't want to work, and they want to get paid $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to sit there.
No, they want more than that. 750 million a year. Oh yeah, for a gazillion for $1 billion, you know. But they can only work 2 days a week. 2 days a week, got to be off by 11 o'clock. Got to be off by 11 a.m. Yep.
Yeah, and then they want that vacation time as soon as they come on board. Oh, do I give them 40 hours of vacation?
Yeah. And then when you say, yeah, I give it to you. Oh, I'm going on vacation. When? Tomorrow? Damn. Just damn started.
But no, it's so one of the things that I do differently than a lot of companies, and I think a lot of companies are going to start to migrate towards it in a sense, is that I get a lot of guys come in the door saying that they want like 40 hours a week, 40, 50 hours a week. Oh, they want 60 hours a week, whatever. And I'm just like, where the hell is that happening at? You know, it's only X amount of hours in a day. Are you literally working, like, is every moving job you on at least 10 hours? And if so, I'm questioning that sales team. That why the hell they overbooking like that? Like, they don't believe in 2-day jobs or adding more manpower. Like, where the hell are you getting 50, 60 hours from? So then it comes down to, it's all the unbillable time. It's the time that the guys get to the office, and then the time that they supposedly show back up to the office after the job. Oh, well, hey, we were out driving around in circles for like 3-4 hours. Oh, okay. So now, on top of your 4-hour job that you did today, you got an extra 4 hours. Oh, there go your 50 hours. You went into overtime this week, and I got to pay for that bullshit.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things where we operate a little more differently. Once I knew about that whole logic several years ago, I knew that wasn't going to be the direction for us. And the way that the labor laws are changing every year, every day to favor the worker and not the employer, you have to adjust. Because we just had a conference in New York a couple of years ago where New York State, and I'll say New York State because I don't know how the whole world is operating. New York State was saying that you have to pay your workers a minimum of X amount of hours if they came into work or if they don't come to work, or whatever the case is, or whatever. You know, like similar to like retail, they was trying to compare our industry to retail, where they was like, well, hey, a worker in retail needs to get paid at least a minimum of 4 hours, or sick time, or this, or this, or that. And I'm like, that don't make no sense. We're an industry where we're on call. If a customer want to move, they want to move. They don't want to move, they don't move. You know, so how can we pay what we don't have? How can we pay it? Just how can we pay what we don't have? Now,
Take them capital loans out.
Right. In New Zealand, they charge flat rate in that whole state, that whole country, I mean, because basically they have stronger labor laws that their guys have to get at least 4 to 8 hours a day if they're employed, regardless if they're working.
Wow.
And so they have to charge flat rate to customers to try to make up for that difference. Because if they charge hourly, they're only going to make enough to pay the people that work that day. So I thought that was insane. But I also thought what was insane was the sick time that we have to pay now. So I think if the employee is part-time, they accumulate up to like 20 hours or a little more than 20 hours over the course of the year. And if they say, hey, boss, I need to call out tomorrow, I want to use my sick time. Well, what the hell do you have to pay them for calling out? Do you pay them a minimum of 4 hours or 8 hours? But you got to pay them something. And I think it's a minimum of at least 4 hours or so like that. And I thought that was insane. Like, where is this money coming from? But, you know, those are all things that we have to adjust to in these trying times. And that's why we need to charge what we need to charge and not lower our rates, because we're only hurting ourselves. And of course, these customers that Bill would say, they don't give a damn about what we got going on.
Y'all know they don't.
Sure, I told y'all last week, a couple of weeks ago, I had a customer who said, "Oh, the guys did the job in full. They did the job. You know, some stuff, maybe a couple of items could have been better handled, but they did the job." And the customer calls in and says, "I think I'm entitled to a full refund."
Wow.
The hell? Did they not move your stuff?
Yo, entitled ass.
I'm like, did they not move your stuff from location 1 to location 2? He's like, yeah, they did, but you know, the way they did it, you know, I feel like I could have probably hired someone off the street or whatever the case is. Well, I'm sorry for your experience, but to say that they didn't do the job, you know, you want a full refund is a whole different story. Let's see how we can make this right a different way. But sir, those guys still need to get paid. And you don't want to go through the explanation of where that money's going, you know, but it's just like, damn, like, do they not get paid for their efforts?
People don't care, bro.
They don't.
They don't care. Long as they get the discount, and you run into those people quite more than you know, man. You know, and they're frustrating to be around. And then you know you sit back and look at them, and you're like, that's why you ain't got shit. That's why you ain't got shit out here. Them trying to get over on them people. You know what I mean? I mean, you can look at. I mean, I'm a guy of karma, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. If like the things in my life start happening consecutively back to back, first thing I'm thinking is, damn, did I do wrong by somebody? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm thinking about, damn, well maybe I should have gave them a little bit more for that dresser, you know, instead of $50 or something like that. You know what I mean? Or something, you know. But real quick though, I had a thought on my mind. So when you were saying you can't be in 2 places at one time, right? So then I thought about if you got cloned, right? Right? Okay. They clone Gucci, man. I mean, so they can clone like a business owner like us, right? Come on, man. I don't know what made me think about it.
Could you imagine a cloning yourself and like, you know, how successful you probably could be mentally if you had a clone of your efforts out there?
I mean, they clone Gucci, man. I mean, I don't see why they can't clone somebody like us.
Oh, you gotta have that Gucci Mane money.
I will say, Phil, you came up with a solution. You know, Dwyght had a problem and you came up with a solution.
Bam, see?
Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's the name of the game. We're looking for
Now, I guess the question comes down to, good thing that you did mention that, Cliff. How are you managing your staff? Are you managing your staff by telling your staff everything to do? Or are you having your staff come to you with their problem and their solution to their problem? You know?
Yeah, I don't want to give a solution. And Curtis doesn't do it either. We like to coach our people to think better, because that's all it is. This is a game of thinking. When you can think through a situation or an issue, and get the required result that people are looking for, everybody wins. And so when a problem arises, it's almost like a sense of preparedness before it happens. You know, get them ready, get them prepped. Just like a fighter getting ready to go into the cage, they know bad stuff is getting ready to happen when they go in there. Moving's the same exact thing. You are gonna get those people who, as Phil said, that's why you ain't got shit. We might need to make a sticker that says that too, by the way. Just like, and you get one of these, sir. Good, congratulations. But when you can think through problems, that's where you win. That's all business is, thinking through problems and thinking through them fast.
Exactly. And that's one of the things where it's like, even you could use that with your sales team or your movers. Oh, your movers come into your office. Hey, Phil, I need to get paid more. I don't feel like I'm getting paid more. Well, how do you feel you should be paid? Well, I think that, you know, because I fold the blankets in the morning and I train the guys, I should be, you know, compensated more. So you want to get paid more for doing a job that you were already assigned to do.
Story of my life right now, boy. Just had this conversation with somebody the other day. Yeah, man. I said, dude, I just gave you a raise 30 days ago. What do you think you get a raise in 30 days? And then right after that, he got three damage claims right after I gave him the damn raise. I'm like, damn. And you go come in and ask for a damn raise?
You see, that's why we do a safety bonus. And, you know, my guys all know that, you know, I post a pot amount on the board or whatever the case is. And I tell them, hey, guys, you damage stuff, that pot going to go down. Right now, it's probably sitting at 6K for the guys. And I'm like, hey, you know what?
6,000?
6,000. So, and it goes,
damn.
it continues to go up. And it's like, well, hey, you know what? You guys don't break none. You guys do a great job. That pot going to go up. You guys damage stuff, that pot going to go down. Mm-hmm. And when they hear that,
I'm to work with you.
So when they hear that, they're like, oh man, okay. You know what, guys, we got to do better. We can't be out here damaging stuff. And, you know, and they try to motivate each other because they know that everybody's affected.
Problem solved. There it is. Problem solved. That's exactly all it is. Like, all right, we got a problem. How we solve this thing?
Mm-hmm. But all right, guys, we are at the hour. So thanks everybody for joining today. Go out and continue to crush it. Next week is September 1st. Well, next week, Friday, I think. So, you know, we're almost at the end of this 120-day sprint that wasn't even a sprint. It was a marathon, really. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, you know what, get back to the basics. You know, start preparing for your off season because, hey, the off season is right there. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, all these holidays is right around the corner. You know, so start preparing now. Start, you know, if you need to downsize a little bit, but not too crazy because we still got September. September is probably going to still be a decent month. October for New Yorkers, you know, it start getting a little cold. So, all right, y'all. So y'all take care.
Guys. Have a good one.
Later.
All right, fellas. See you guys. See you later. Dwyght.